Come on, and we all know that. I think the bigger problem is when we try to use our channel to divide a group, and trying to divide basically Black Americans from Africans, that's the wrong step.
Associated with film assault of homeless Black women in Brazil. He has recorded and exploited women in Nairobi and plans to travel in October 2025 from South Africa to Cape Town, Johannesburg, Pretoria, and Dunbar for sex.
Okay, what's up with it? It's your boy Expat D here, back with another video. So today I want to talk about Kenya, and I want to talk about the passport bros, if that's even such a thing. I want to talk about Austin Holloman. So a lot of events have transpired. Looking at this situation with Jay Rello, I think you guys know what happened. He went to Kenya and he was basically made some poor decisions with women. And basically there's been a witch hunt for him, and yeah, he deserves it. He does not represent Black Americans. I don't even really want to say he doesn't represent passport bros, because this is really an elusive term. I was younger myself, and I used to travel and be single, and I dated. And I'll tell you, that's a lot of pressure being put on someone that probably was they're probably the first one in their family to really travel internationally. So we really don't know what it's like. It's a new experience. I'm not justifying for his particular actions, but what I'm saying is Black Americans in general, I feel like, are trying to figure out the world. Okay, a lot of us have started traveling, probably the first in their family to travel, and we're trying to figure out where we fit. We're trying to figure out dating, how it works, who can we trust, what the goal is. And there's a lot of people that's trying to figure it out. I don't agree with anything, actions of this Jay Rello guy. Nobody really is. I think everybody's all agreeing that his behavior is despicable. On the other hand, I don't want that to be an example to put all Black Americans, all passport bros in a category. And the reason why I say that is I don't even know if there is a definition of a passport bro. I don't even know if that's a thing. I think you just have a group of people that are traveling to other countries, and they're basically trying to figure out a new way of life, something, see if they can do better than in the States. What's being focused on is dating. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of stages of understanding dating. I see a lot of things, online where people are talking about different places like Thailand and the Philippines, and a lot of the attention that they're getting from women is not even sincere. So there's a lot of that going on, and a lot to learn and figure out. But the one thing I have to say in terms of bringing this back to Kenya, I think what's going on with this station that's trying to go against, let's say, Austin Holloman, this sounds like, really, it sounds like fake activism. Now, the one thing, when people are coming up, because this channel that's doing it, they've got like 700 subscribers. That's not very successful, and I think people try to jump on trends and be very opportunistic when it comes to YouTube. That's why I didn't really initially come out with like a response video to Jay Rello, because I'm not someone that just wants to go out and everybody just responds and feel like they could say the popular thing and jump on an extreme situation and disagree with it, and everybody agrees with me, and I try to play, fifth quarter quarterback, and say what everybody already agrees to. We all know that situation is one that we don't agree with, who does? Who does? That's easy. That's like if somebody murders somebody and you say you disagree with murder. I mean, come on, and we all know that. I think the bigger problem is when we try to use our channel to divide a group, and trying to divide basically Black Americans from Africans, that's the wrong step. And especially what they're trying to do with Austin Holloman. I've met him in person. If you've seen my channel, we've done interviews together. I was his age, and I've traveled, and I've dated and all that stuff in other countries, and they're trying to make him into something that he's not. And even a lot of his channel, he's not even talking about women. He's talking about politics and Black history and things like that. The thing you have to understand is people evolve. Even when you go to other countries and you date, some people may date and go to other countries and have fun and all that stuff. They may last a little while, but then you evolve and you grow as a person. So that's part of the journey of a lot of people that travel. They're, dating, if it's about dating is tough in the States, and they have a lot of this, media, and it's dividing people, and everybody's against everybody. Men are against women, and there's like this whole gender war thing going on, and you have modern women versus traditional women, and all this stuff. Some people in the States just don't want to be a part of all that nonsense that the media has created. Okay, and it's the same. Being a Black American person, we have to fight already a lot that has happened in the media. They're painting pictures like we're thugs. They're painting pictures like we're drug dealers. All of us, we're all thugs. We're all drug dealers, right? These are the stigmas that we're on drugs. We're all from the ghetto. We're all from the hood. We're all trying to kidnap somebody or break in your house and rob you and all this stuff. So we have to deal with all these stigmas, and this is not our group collectively. So that's why I decided to finally speak about this matter, because I'm someone that travels. I've been to Kenya. I love Kenya, as you can see from my channel. But when I see that they're trying to turn against a whole group of people for one single act, that's a problem. That's a problem. Why I call it fake activism, I don't believe that group that's out here trying to speak against Austin, I don't think they even watch his channel. I think they're just trying to do a publicity stunt. But my message is, be careful what your role is for YouTube. I don't really believe in selling out a person just to get clicks and views. I don't like that. I do response videos on my channel. I talk about certain issues, but I don't sit here and try to clown somebody or out somebody and all that type of stuff. I don't do that, or try to do this defamation of character stuff just to get some views and just to try to make myself look like a hero. That's not cool. There has to be some guidelines, especially as from one Black person to another, of what our goal is when we're on this YouTube channel. What's the goal for your channel? What's the goal for your channel? I'm trying to show people a different way of living their life. A lot of people in the States are frustrated, and the system doesn't work for them. I'm not telling them to hate their country. I'm not saying everyone has to move out of America, but I'd like people to open their options so they can see what else exists, because they may be like me. They may weigh their options and see like, hey, wow, I can create a better situation for myself outside of the country. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when I look at people going out there and using a platform to try to make it seem like everybody is in one category and divide people, dude, is it really freaking worth it? You want clicks that freaking bad? Do you want subscribers that freaking bad that you're willing to set your people back so far? I feel like with the internet, so many black people are getting a chance to see the continent, to become interested in traveling there. This could really be an opportunity to unify people, but you want clicks so damn bad that you want to divide people and turn people against each other. Get a freaking life with your freaking 700 subscribers. Get a freaking life. That's all I have to say. Seriously. I mean, YouTube to me is a very powerful tool. It's informative. It's fun. But dude, it is not worth creating divisions, particularly with people of color. So get a freaking life. Stop your fake activism. That's not cool. That's not cool. You know, so keep that in mind. You know, what I have to have some questions, man. What do you want to do with this opportunity? Now that us as black people have the ability to communicate to each other, we have a chance to understand one another. That's what I'm trying to do with my channel. Get people to understand one another. Now that we have that opportunity, do you really want to cause more division? Because I tell you what, a lot of people's perception from black people about Africans is damn wrong. And vice versa. African Americans, the way they view Africans, the way Africans view African Americans, there's a lot of misunderstanding going on. So why don't we use this opportunity as a way for us to better understand each other and come together and get an understanding? Because that's what they want us to do. This is what you have to understand. We're controlling the media right now. I want you to understand that. We're controlling the media. We're coming up with these videos. I'm able to sit here and talk about whatever the heck I want to talk about. And this is a very powerful time in the media. There is no agenda behind what I'm trying to say. Okay? And when I see people that are coming with an agenda, dude, why? Why? You have your power. Do you want to use this for good and bring people close together or not? Because I'll tell you this right now. Black people are not traveling to Africa to take advantage of people. African Americans. Collectively, we're not. We're just trying to find a different way of doing things. And we're open. Okay? Some people, yeah, we're coming from different maturity levels. We're coming from different life experiences. And sometimes we may need to travel to a couple of countries and do a little bit of traveling before we figure out who we are and what we're trying to do. But it's a process. You know, this is, for many of us, it's our very first time traveling out the country. Now, the way he was carrying on, that J. Rella dude, hell to the no. Not cool. I'm not agreeing with it. I'm not justifying it. I'm not even empathizing with his situation. You know what I mean? Some people are just some suckers with a passport. That exists, but it's not a whole group of people. And I'll tell you what, why do we act this way towards black people when, man, I'll tell you what, man, I lived in Africa and I've seen people of another race. They was messing around getting maids and doing some bad stuff with their maids. And they weren't black. And guess what? Nobody said nothing. Nobody said nothing. So why do we feel like we could be activists when it comes to other black people or black Americans, right? Why don't you have that same energy when somebody else do something like that? I'm not saying any of those actions are right, but why don't we keep that same energy when somebody else sit here and do wrong? I'm just saying. So, hey, I'm going to end it here. I just want to let you know that, hey, man, let's use these platforms to unify. Let's use it to unify. And, man, let's do good, man. We could do a lot of good when we work together. Anyway, I'm Expat D. If you stayed on to the end of the video, thanks a lot for watching. Peace and I'm out.